with Messy on Purpose. And we have Lisa back with us today. And we got our buddy Lee over there as usual.
Yep, Sideshow Bob over here.
That's not nice.
I mean, I don't know.
Sideshow,
But I mean, yeah.
You're too main character to be a sideshow.
I do have that main character energy, but I don't mind it. It's fun.
You like it on the side sometimes. That's why you're doing that when we have guests.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're putting yourself there, then I guess that's where you fit. You're comfortable. So
I'm comfortable. I'm good. I'm feeling really great today on a Sunday. How are you feeling?
Good. It's been a good weekend.
Hopefully, I won't be a voice in the like God like you talked about.
I looked
earlier.
at it like twice.
Okay, good. We're good.
And I hope it's good.
Okay.
I can see it. It's going.
Okay. We got a second pair of eyes on it today,
Yeah, we do.
So I messed up last time. Anyway, so today we are going to talk about all kinds of things, I think, related to like body
Dysmorphia?
Dysmorphia, that's what I was looking for.
Dysphoria?
Dysphoria, Sometimes it feels like that. I don't know. And then kind of maybe a little bit into your like bodybuilding journey and all of that stuff too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And, whatever happens in between.
Yeah. Which can be anything with you.
Facts.
I mean that in the best way.
we hung out a couple weeks ago, and she came over and we had no plan whatsoever, and she thought we were doing a podcast. I thought we were doing reels. We did pretty much nothing but talk for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we're like, we should have recorded this. Like, it would have been
that's
some good stuff in there.
Yes.
There was. We got some deep conversations too.
We did. But...
Well, new rule from now on, whenever you do invite somebody as a potential guest, you just got to put them in here.
We're just sitting in here.
Yeah.
No matter what. Where do you want to start? Is there an idea that you had rolling?
Yeah, I there's been
We're both on that today. Yeah.
There's been a few times that we've mentioned, body dysmorphia, and I think that is it's such a huge part of bodybuilding and the fitness journey in general. When I started working out, it was I told you a little bit about my journey and how hard it was with like the pregnancy and everything. So I was sedentary for 2 to 3 years. And so when I started working out, it was rough, first of all. I went to a 5:30 kickboxing class first, and there's like these 80-year-old women that are just like, kicking trash and taking names, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, I can barely like breathe. Like, what is wrong with you people? I had to go home and like take my kid's inhaler. I was like, that was a lot, But anyway, so I got pretty heavy into it, and I actually gained 15 pounds. And I was like, well, that is terrible. But, what I didn't understand, and you guys understand this now too, is that it was muscle. I had been atrophied, from being sedentary for so long that I gained a lot of muscle at first, So the scale can really be your worst enemy a lot of the time.
You should never judge your progress just based on the scale.
No.
There's so many other factors that you can use, too.
Yeah, and, at very least, getting a bioimpedance scale at home. They're not super accurate, but they're accurate enough for the general population.
I would say the calipers are probably some of the best you can do because it's super easy to do at home. You can just do the areas that you can reach, and you can tell how much you've lost.
Yeah, I would say as long as it's this, you're doing it in the exact same spot, and every single time. And I think that's the hard thing about calipers, because it's like
it is hard.
And then like grabbing like this much or this that's just skin. Okay, like. It's those are a little trying for me.
But I think after it, just like anything else, if you learn it, you can, you know what I mean? And then it makes it kind of easier to know, because the scale is, especially for women, our bodies week to week change on what we hold in water.
100%, yeah. Yeah, and people will be like, "Oh, I lost 4 pounds overnight."
No, you lost water weight.
I don't think so. Or the opposite. I gained 3 pounds. Did you go to Cheesecake Factory? Because you probably didn't.
The odds of that massive of a gain or loss. I mean, it's not. It's usually water weight.
Yeah, exactly. So then, going any fat loss journey is going to be like this, and this is the same.
Any journey is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Any.
Yeah, you just have to have fun with it,
Yeah.
On the downs, put your hands in there.
Oh darn! But wait.
It's you gotta understand it. It will make it a lot easier for sure, and it'll help you to tweak it. Be like, okay, well, I'm not making the gains or losses, however you want to look at it, as fast as I want to. So what am I doing wrong, or what can I tweak to change that? So like I had said before, I lost 60 pounds, gained it all back, and then lost it again. And so when I met my husband, and we were, I had lost quite a bit of weight, but I wasn't quite where I wanted to be at yet, but I was feeling pretty good. And we decided to do a bodybuilding show together. And
was it his first one too?
Oh, definitely not.
No, okay.
No, he's been doing that for 30 years.
Okay.
So, and he's placed either first or won every single one of them. So,
wow.
Yeah, and he's taken other contestants to pros. He's very good at it.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I was just curious, like if you guys decided to do that together, or if it was something that he almost influenced you to do.
No, it was just I had never really thought about it. Like. I knew who those guys were, but I wasn't like, that's what I want in my life. I never really thought about it, But I tell you what, it was the most rewarding thing, one of the most rewarding things that I've done in my life, it was for me, And so when I started, we had that conversation, and he said, okay, he's like, we're going to do this. He's like, you need to gain 10 pounds. I was like, oh. Okay. Like, I just spent all this time losing all of this weight, and you're asking me to gain. Like, okay. And I did, I did it. And then I got very, very strict in my cut. And I did have to put it out for a month because, we made a goal, but we had no idea how my body was going to react, And at first, even where to put me, because, if you had seen me when I was heavier, it'd be like, wellness, look at that booty, And then it was like, once I cut that down, it was like, and the butt's gone. Okay. That's not going to work. But you know what?
It's the worst part of cutting.
Yeah, right?
I'm always mad. I'm like, where'd my butt go?
Yeah. And of course, that's what goes first, right? The butt and boobs, and it's like, gone. You're like, oh. Thanks. You couldn't start here.
Yeah.
Never starts
that
there.
couldn't,
Never
that couldn't
starts
be
there.
it. No.
The other place I hold fat is in my arms. It's a really weird place, but I can grow them because of that. But like I hold fat in my arms, so like when I get heavier, I'm like, ugh, my arms look huge.
Yeah. And I'm feeling that now, and that's another thing about body dysmorphia. Like right now, I feel like beached whale, but I'll have people like comment still all the time, be like, "Oh, you're buff, you're jacked, you beat me up." I'm like, "Oh, I guess something's showing still." Because
well, the thing is, like, we wake up every day in a different like frame of mind. So like you'll wake up some days and you'll be like, "Oh, I look pretty good," no matter what size you are, right? Like whether you're cut, whether you're bulking, whatever it might be, and then like the next day you feel completely like trash.
Yeah.
And like I think it's just mentally like where you're at that day. I don't even know if it's necessarily like the way we look. I think it's the way we look at ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. And the way that we think that other people perceive us.
Yeah.
Which of course is none of our business and is usually not even true, so.
Yeah, we're usually wrong at what people think.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to know what a lot of people think of me, because then that changes my perspective of me based on somebody who doesn't even know me, So
I just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, it depends on the day for me. Sometimes I'm like, I don't care about these people. And I'm like, but love me.
Yeah.
I'm like so far the other way now. Like, I think it's just like basically not having a relationship with like family and friends like back in Iowa anymore. Like, I really don't talk to anyone except for my one sister. And like, the fact that like I just don't care what any of them thinks makes me not care what anyone thinks, and then I just do my thing. I'm a very social person who likes to do things by herself, which is really weird to say, but I realized this the other day. I was like, I really like things by myself. Like, I don't like team sports. I don't go as hard. I push myself harder in the gym by myself than I do in a team environment.
Yeah.
Like, I will literally kill myself to the point where I can't walk out of the gym. But like, if I'm in a team sport, I'm like, woo, go team, you know? I don't know, it's weird. I think it's just I can't control the variables. So for me, like, I can control the variables with myself.
Yeah.
And so like, it makes me just not care about anything else around me. Lee, you're gonna hate me.
Yeah, you're like attacking that thing.
I know. I'm not being very nice to the mic. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I just don't care.
That actually makes sense because, you know, growing up, your family is everything. You know, these are the people that you're learning how to be a human from. You know, it's.
Unfortunately, I did not learn until I was in my later 20s how to really be a good human.
No, I definitely understand where you're coming from, but because then there's a shift when you get older and you're like, okay, well, I've just been living basically in the shadow of like my family and just like listening to what they think that I should be, but that's not who I am. Now I got to find me, which is fantastic, you know, and it's hard and it sucks and it hurts. But at the end of it, when you come out the other side, you're like, hello, world.
It's so freeing when you escape that. I mean, we talked when me and her were hanging out, we talked for like an hour just on family and stuff, like, because we both had our fair share of chaos and like distancing. And unfortunately, I mean, just because they're blood doesn't mean you have to have them around.
No, I mean, especially when it's toxic. Toxicity is toxicity, whether it's your family, your best friend, or your job. Like, you know, it comes from all places, and it's up to you to choose whether to accept that or to move on from it.
And you can't be happy with yourself when you're surrounded by people judging you all the time, or like negativeness in any shape or form, whether that's them degrading you or that's just them being around and like the type of person they are or whatever it might be. I just having that around, it's really hard to like figure yourself out, be you, and like fully like blossom into the person you want to be. It's even hard to figure out who that is when you're surrounded by those type of people. Yeah,
definitely. And so, you know, it's only both you and I have kind of chosen to, you know, not have that in our life, you know, and keep them at kind of a arm's distance of, you know, this is what I will allow. And this is what I'm not.
Don't have anything against them. Like, they are who they are, right? Like, we love them. We just love from afar.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what was the catalyst for you, for both of you guys, but what was the catalyst for you to say, that's not who I am, or the perception of who your family members might think you are? How does someone that's watching this or listening to this, what are steps that they can take in order to break out of that? Because that's the biggest thing, right? We're trying to teach while we're being in this, but I want to know from you guys, like, what is a catalyst for you to say, I need to break out of this negative cycle? Not you per se, but just the family members, you know, or friends that are around you. How do you ostracize yourself and take yourself out of that situation in order to grow and to become the person you want to be?
That's a loaded question because I feel like for me it was different reasons, you know, and it wasn't on purpose at first, you know. I don't know if you want to know the story, but
we want to know stories. That's what it's all about.
So I grew up LDS, Mormon, and when I was 21, I got pregnant. And because of that, my family basically disowned me. And, you know, there was some that completely stopped talking to me, completely stopped recognizing that I existed. You know, and even my own mother, she wasn't kind about it. You know, she kicked me out of the house, and you know, she said some very horrible things to me, and I was confused. You know, I was like, in my perspective, my God and my religion preaches love and acceptance. But, you know, I'm the youngest of 5, you know, so looking up to these people my entire life, you know, and following what they're doing, following what they're saying, and then for them to turn on me and literally say, I've lost respect for you. For being pregnant at 21, you know, like it was just, it blew my mind. And so, you know, I stepped back then. And then, like I said, it was painful, it was messy, it was rough. But, you know, over the years, I've come to accept that they are who they are. And whether their actions were acceptable or not, that's what they chose. And the man that I was with at the time, I wouldn't say that he's a gem, but he did show me that it was okay to be myself, you know. So then I'm surrounding myself with people that do accept me and do, you know, that aren't, you know, saying, oh, you need to live your life this way. It's time to find yourself, you know.
It's interesting because, you know, a lot of, and I don't want to get into religion so much, but there's a lot of religions just based on Catholicism, just in general, like Christianity or whatever, or Mormonism or whatever, that preach a certain thing, but they so ostracize a lot of their members or people that are just in there, and they're super judgy when they're saying they're not supposed to judge, because guess what? What would Jesus do? He, or, you know, it, or whatever it is, the universe / God, is not supposed to do that. And when you come from a place of love, there is no judgment. And it's funny because, you know, I'm sorry that you had to grow up with something like that, because it's horrible, actually.
Yeah, and that's why I said it. Like it's
horrible.
It just it broke everything inside of me, and I had to build that back up. But in a way, I'm glad that it happened. Absolutely. You know, because then I wouldn't have grown. You know, and then so like I said, you know, that guy, we did end up having 2 beautiful children together. Best thing that came out of that relationship. But the relationship itself, though, was terrible, you know. And so he was staying here, and I was going here. And so by, you know, 7 years, I was, you know, at that time I was like, you know what, I'm not okay with this toxicity anymore. I'm not okay with
levels to it.
Yeah, with you treating me how you're treating me now. I'm past that, you know. So then I met my ex-husband, and you know, everything was great and everything was good for a few years, and then that started getting toxic. And again, he kind of came here, you know, and then I was going here, and I'm like, okay, like. Again, I'm not like upset about this because I kept going forward. You know, I kept getting better. And that's really what broke us, is that, you know, we were going on different paths. And at first we were on the same path, but then it kind of broke, and he broke. I literally had a mental breakdown, and I was like, what's happening? I thought everything was good, but, you know, apparently not. And so, you know, we worked on it for 3 years, and it wouldn't get any better. And part of that was because he wasn't willing to work on it. You know, I was practically begging him, and he was like, nah, we're good. I'm like, okay.
We're really not good, but we're really not. But
yeah, like if we were good, then I wouldn't be saying, "Can we work on some stuff?" You know, like,
at least you knew that you tried. You know, you tried. Some people are just around for seasons, and that includes spouses. Sometimes I know it's not the way we were grown up to like believe you're supposed to marry and stay married, but like that's just sometimes not how it works, you know?
Well, and maybe with the level, me personally, that I had of, what's the word I want to use? Like self-doubt and, you know, how broken I was to begin with, that it took time and different people in my life to help me to grow to where I needed to be, you know.
They're like stepping stones.
Yeah, and not to step on them, you know.
Yeah.
But
but like they're kind of part of stages. Like
Yeah.
that's a better way to put it. Sorry, not
Chapters.
stepping on anyone.
Yeah,
they're
chapters
like
in your book that,
yeah,
you know.
and they build the whole novel, right?
Exactly.
Like it gets you to the point of your life to where you end it where you want to be. And if I don't stop, I'll be that.
But I want to say something real quick. I think that, you know, and I know you know this already, and this is not me telling you what's happened in your life, but I feel like with everything that's happened, it had to happen, like you said before, dovetailing what you said, it had to happen like that, because let's just say you were in your bigger days when you were overweight, you know, God universe is now chipping down little by little as you're lifting those weights.
but it was just like, so I was like,
Well, it's a
okay.
reflection of your parenting too. Like
Definitely.
her being able to respond like that.
Yeah, we have tried to be very conscious of their feelings and to show them how to react to it. And I'm not saying I'm the mother of the year or anything, but you know, I feel like that has done a lot for them in their life. You know, even when they were in kindergarten. Okay, so they're 10 months apart, so they're in the same grade. But
Girl, you were busy those years.
yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Like, I'm not even just talking about the so close, like just the babies
Yeah.
at the same, like basically the same age, like or toddlers. Whew.
Yeah, there's part of that time I don't really remember. I was just surviving.
You might as well have had twins having them that close together.
Yeah, it was a lot for sure. But they, you know, when they were in like kindergarten, and their teacher was like, they're like, I just think it's amazing because they will say, I need some alone time for a minute, and like they would like step away and like have, and they're like, most adults can't even comprehend that, you know, much less these children. And I'm like, well, that's good, you know, I'm happy for them that they're doing that. So
That's actually pretty special, because when people, like you said, most adults can't, they'll say something crazy to you and they go, you know what, I just need a second. You know, that's great for someone to kind of be in control of your own emotions like that.
yeah.
Well,
Huge.
it fixes them to the point where when they're adults, they're not going to overreact to things. They're going to be able to step back, think about it, then react, versus like how we have like an overreactive society where you see people freak out in the grocery store over something so silly, or, you know, all the Karens that run around. Like, you know, you're raising kids that aren't going to be like that.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, I hope they're able to rein it in, you know, and I think for the most part, they're good human beings for the most part. So, they're good.
I think we
human
all
beings,
are. I mean,
so.
for the most part. I mean, that's what we
true.
try to and strive to be.
Everyone's just trying to be happy. And
Yeah, yeah. And you, like you said before earlier, you know, no one is really caring about your own situation, about you personally. Like when you're at the gym, people are like, I don't want to go to the gym because people are looking at me. No, they're looking at themselves because they just got out of the shower and they made themselves go to the gym, or they saw themselves nude or naked or whatever, and they're like, I don't like the way I look. And they're there for their own purposes. And we're all fighting these smaller demons that are inside of our heads every single day. You know, these many little battles that are major battles inside of all of us. It's a tough gig.
yeah,
It really is.
the body dysmorphia, you know,
Back to that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's telling you that you do not look good, you know, and it's interesting coming from, you know, being as overweight as I was, you know, and then being where I am now. And, you know, even with all my muscle, I still weigh about, right now, about 40 pounds less than I did. But I still look at myself and go,
Yuck.
Did
You
you
know.
have issues growing up with like body issues? Because I did. I was anorexic, and I threw up at quite a bit at some points.
I tried
when I was
to,
forced
but
to eat.
that was rough. And I didn't like throwing up. I was like, yeah, no.
Oh, well, if somebody forced me to eat, I would just throw it up. Because I had friends that would try to make me eat. I was like 80 pounds in high school. I got called bones in my senior year in my photo because it was like I was so skinny you could see my yeah, it was pretty bad. And so like I dealt with that because my mom actually made comments to me that made me feel like I was never skinny enough. It's because she has issues, and I know that now. But when you're young and you're a kid, you don't know. You just get, you get told these things like, I was skinnier than you when I was your age and things like that. And then like, now you're like, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, how can I fix that? And then you just, do stupid stuff like not eat. And all of that was just the way my mom deflected onto me. Mm-hmm. And it took me a long time to get past that. Like honestly, it was Justin that really helped with that. I've always liked working out and being active and all that stuff. Like, even when I wasn't eating, like, I'm an active person. I like to be active. So that was never a problem, but food was a problem. Mm-hmm. And I also drank. So, like, then putting on weight from drinking, not eating, and all of that stuff, too, because your body doesn't process things properly when you're drinking. And it's just, that's how it works. And so like I had issues up for a long time. And then like I started working out with him, started eating, like good food, like whole foods, not junk food. Because we grew up on, white trash pasta and, all the gross, bland white people food that's super quick and cheap. And,
what's funny is that you don't cook like that. You don't cook like normal.
Oh,
like
no.
She could. I mean, cooking.
You gotta try this Thai recipe I've been making.
Okay,
so good, so spicy. Anyway,
sorry,
so much flavor.
Food all the time. We love food.
Yeah, now I love food. But like I had issues for a really, really long time with that, and all of it stemmed from like my childhood. And once I figured out and I don't have an addictive personality. I don't have that at all. Like I'm not someone that like gets addicted to anything. Or like I can drop anything on a dime. Like it doesn't bother me a bit. But the eating disorder was something different, right? Like it was like deeper to the core, and I had to really focus, and I still do. So part of the reason I never did the competition thing, because like when I first started working out, Justin was like, oh, you should do a competition, blah, 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 like the bikini comp. And I was like, I don't know I don't think at that time, if I would have did it, it would have helped. Because, you get that skinny, you feel really good about yourself, right? Yeah. And then you like gain back.
Yes.
And to be that skinny all the time is not healthy. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I don't think that's good for me, because I hadn't been that small since I was in high school, early 20s, like I haven't been that small since then. And I don't know if mentally I'm ready for that. And then years later, over the last couple of years, I considered it. And then I started training for it, and I was like, I don't like the posing. And I just was like, I don't think I want this enough. And then you got to take drugs. And like, I was like, you know what? I'm good. But I grew my butt for a year, so that was cool. But like, it's something that like, I don't struggle with the food part anymore, but it's something that I still have in the back of my mind. Like, don't let yourself do that. Because I will like go a whole day without eating and not realize it sometimes still. Like, you just don't think about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say for me that I had like a specific like eating disorder or anything like that, but I definitely like had those like mental blocks. And again, it also came from my family. My mom would be like, why are you walking like that? Why are you sticking your stomach out? I was like, well, I thought I looked cute, but now I just feel terrible, and then and like my uncle, actually I had to say something, because we would go over there and eat like Sunday dinner, and there'd be like some left over. He's like, Lisa will eat that, she's hefty. And I'm like, what the who says that, And finally I was just like, you need to stop. Like that's enough, And so, it did come from my family. Plus I was like the biggest girl, still am, like in my family, so even my cousins, and I remember there was a turning point in my life. I saw a picture of me and my cousins at a water park. Now, you have to remember, too, that I'm also taller than, a lot of these people. But literally, I looked at the picture and I said, who's that fat girl in the middle? That was me. And I was like, oh. And they're, like 70 pounds wet because, they're just littler people,
Yeah.
And that's another thing, though, that I loved about Lyle and about bodybuilding is that I've been big my entire life. And now I can embrace it and use it. And it's empowered me instead of, held me down.
It's amazing what just like, you don't even need to go into the competition things. There's other sports and things that you can play. Like a lot of people love CrossFit. You will not catch me doing CrossFit. I tried it once. Not for me. I don't like the high intensity cardio stuff anyways. That's just not my thing. I like to push myself, and you can't push yourself unless you want to die of exhaustion, which I don't. I just want to like push myself. So like weightlifting works, right? Like doing sled pushes after I've done a crazy leg day. I love that. I don't know why, but I leave and I'm just happy as hell. But like,
well, part of it's science, but
yeah. But like, it's like a mental high almost. Like you're just like, I don't know. I love it. And I think anyone who's willing to find something active that they like, that they can push themselves and feel good, that helps so much with that body dysmorphia.
Yeah. I struggle with it still a little bit because of how many issues in my body that I have with, arthritis and, like my knees being like basically bone on bone, a stenosis in my spine, which pissed me off because first of all, it didn't even happen like when I was lifting. It was like my favorite exercise was deadlifts. I absolutely love deadlifts. And I
did too until my core got a little thick.
I've had to deal with that too. That's another part of body dysmorphia with bodybuilding for sure. But I was steadily inclining every week, and I was up to 315.
Jeez, that's 3 plates.
And then it was like 2 weeks after I had deadlifted the last time, and my back went out, and I'm like, but this is different. Like I've always had like some back issues, but I'm like, this is different. So I went to the doctor and they're like, oh yeah, your cartilage is disintegrating. I'm like, sweet, that's fantastic.
Wow.
So no deadlifts for me.
I just stopped doing them because they made my core too thick.
Yeah.
But my back is so strong, let me tell you.
Yeah, like I said, that's part of it too. So I did my show and, I felt like I looked pretty good. I didn't have the abs that I wanted, but that's about it. And then it was time. Like my back is just naturally pretty good, But he's like, well, let's get it thicker though. And I'm like, okay. So then we start working on the thickening exercises, and now I'm growing this way, and getting thicker. And I'm like, but again, it's muscle, so I'm not like. I have to embrace it, but like it's a struggle for sure.
It's so funny. I was actually just talking. So the girl that does my hair, we were talking about. She was asking me questions when she was doing my hair the other day, and she was like said something about doing abs, and I was like, honestly, I don't think it's necessary. I really don't. I think you should engage your core in every workout that you do.
Oh yeah.
And as a female, I wouldn't recommend actually training abs unless you want a thicker waist. Most females want a smaller waist. If you work your abs, which I know from experience, your waist actually does get bigger.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was just they just weren't in. I hadn't seen my abs ever. So just the little hint of them, at the show, I was like, hey, how are you?
That little feel good though when you see your abs. It's like,
yeah. They were very protected for a long time.
She keeps hitting it. Sorry.
It's okay.
You told me to put it closer.
I know I did.
My ex used to say, is like, why bring a 6-pack to the party when a keg is so much more fun?
It's great.
Like, that's funny, but,
I think I'll bring the 6-pack.
Yeah. Exactly.
It might be a 6-pack of Zevia, but
Either way, I like it. So, yeah. I have a funny Thai food story for you, though.
ooh, yes, I love talking about food.
You brought up Thai. So we tease my husband because I love his food. The way he cooks, is fantastic. Like we're no like gourmet chefs, but we eat what we like, and we make pretty decent food. So one of his favorite things to do is to make Thai beef, Thai chicken, Thai turkey, like whatever. And really all this means is that we're adding PB Fit and soy sauce. And that makes it Thai.
I was not expecting that.
I did not expect that. I was wondering what time meant.
Yeah, I was like, no, I was not expecting that.
With some garlic, and maybe a little spice to it.
The fact that it's PB Fit.
Yeah, I know. God. Yeah. It's so good. It's a weightlifter's dream right there.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, but it's actually really good, But on that note, though, so we were watching TV one night, and I can't remember what it was. It's some sort of documentary or something. And, we were pretty high at the time. He was more than I was. And there was these people speaking in Thai. And they got to the end of it, and he's like, oh, my God. I understood everything they said. He's like, I think I can understand Thai. And I was like, or there was subtitles, babe.
Yeah. You're right. That's awesome.
You were reading it. We could all understand it.
Aren't dudes like the best when they're high? They're like dogs, like dumb dogs with like a half a brain cell.
That's what it feels
so
like sometimes.
great. It makes me laugh every time. I remember one time Justin was, and he was talking about something, and he came to a conclusion and like just explained it so well. And he's like, when I'm high, things just
connect. You're like, no.
No, that's not the case.
You think that's what's going on, but really,
no, you just blabbered for 10 minutes and it finally made it make sense. Oh, that's great. I still can't get over the Thai.
Yeah.
The peanut butter PB Fit.
Try it. I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
PB Fit's no joke. I love it.
Yeah. I like it in recipes. Like by itself, it doesn't replace peanut butter.
It does not. It's not.
I thought it was pretty good on apples.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried that.
But again, that's like
with something else.
Yeah, even then.
But I don't eat regular peanut butter either. So.
But your
I
cookies.
think it tastes closer to like real peanut butter. Like if you get like an only peanuts ingredients peanut butter, it's closer to that than it is like Jiffy.
Somewhat. I mean, I eat a lot of peanut butter, but the Adams, I mean, like it's not close enough for me to eat it by itself. But like you said, with an apple or something like that, I think it's perfect. Yeah. But Adams is just one ingredient. It's just peanuts. That's
I've had the same tub for like 2 years.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's how much I don't use.
I was gonna say, it must be really tasty.
Yeah. It's good every once in a while, but like honestly, I bought it because I was eating it with apples, and then I stopped eating it. But I just don't really mess with peanut butter that much.
With your cookies, they're really
I don't
good.
eat them. I make them. I just don't eat them.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, I do that a lot. I make a lot of things
but
that I
like,
don't eat.
I like it, but I mean, they're like not sugary. You have like Splenda or something like that in it or whatever, and so it tastes delicious.
I've made you so many different cookies. I don't even know which ones you're referring to.
I know. There's a lot of cookies.
Because I make like some like healthier ones, like healthier, like not so sugary, and then I can throw down on some desserts like
like nobody's business.
Like if you're a fat kid, I'm your best friend. Yeah. I don't eat the stuff, but I can make it. Yeah. My great aunt actually taught me how to bake and cook really when I was young. So she was like the one person that knew how. Nobody else in my family can like bake from scratch.
Wow.
So
yeah, we love making new recipes, like healthier recipes, like cheesecake. We'll make a healthier cheesecake.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic, we love cheesecake. And, to be able to create that, for one thing, it's fun, for another thing, like it's a better option. And right now, God, those recipes online, I don't know how they can use the word healthy.
Oh,
like half the time, they'll be like, oh, this is healthy. No. If you start with a cup of peanut butter, you lost
You're
me.
done.
That is not healthy. Just because it's good fat. Like,
It's
first
not-
of all, you don't even know what that
It's
means.
not even good fat, actually. I don't think it's good fat. Most people are peanut intolerant, so like it's literally not good for you to eat that much fat. One, in a sitting, and then two, most people don't measure it, so they're eating 3 times as much because a tablespoon is not a real tablespoon.
Yeah, yeah. But it's funny to me, and people will be like, "Ugh, I have to measure," and I'm like, it's not that hard. You just get into a habit of it, really. Like when I started, I had no idea what the heck I was doing with nutrition. No idea. Yeah. But now, like it's easy. People are like, oh, it's hard to track. No, it's not. It takes 2 seconds. You open your phone, you put it in, you're done. Like
it takes effort. That's what it is. It takes effort. You have to do something. They just want to guess, and like you can't guess if you don't know. Right? I can't guess what 6 ounces of chicken looks like unless I've ever measured out 6 ounces of chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you still got to, check yourself. Even if you're not measuring every single time, and you're like, okay, well, a fist is about a cup of rice, But then when you're not measuring it every time, well, then it's like Andre the Giant's fist instead of like a normal fist, And then it's like you just had double or triple that cup of rice, which a cup of rice is a lot, but
you can actually, if you get a scale, which are cheap, they're $10
way
or
cheap,
so. I think you can get them for $5 on Amazon for a really cheap scale, and you can measure everything on that scale. You don't have to have a cup. You can measure the grams. Yeah. Like it's actually more accurate too if you do grams.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, people just don't want to. But
No.
it doesn't take much more time. It really doesn't.
That's like, how bad do you want it? Mm-hmm. Really?
Not bad enough.
Nope. And like the thing is, like you don't have to be perfectly accurate when you're tracking. You don't. You can be off by 5 to 10 grams. As long as you're not competing or something that you need to be super strict with, you can be off just a little bit, and it's not that big of a deal. It's not that stressful. You have little leeways. Now, when you track Monday through Friday and then F off Saturday, Sunday,
you're screwed.
Yep.
Forget about it.
You're not going anywhere.
You're just stalling at that point.
Yeah.
Because all the gains that you had during those 5 days,
you ruined it.
Yeah, you totally do. I mean, I think for me, I used to do that a lot and be against myself without even knowing it. Mm-hmm. And when you're not tracking, and you go, oh, I track, fairly consistently during the week, and then I can fuck off for 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. It's like, no, you get one meal, one cheat meal, not a whole 2 days.
But I always think that's crazy when people do that too, though, when they come to you and they're like, okay, but when's my cheat meal?
Yeah.
What do you mean? When's your self-sabotage day?
Yeah.
What do you mean when's your cheat meal?
Yeah.
I actually tell
you
people,
into this or you're not?
Right.
I tell people if you're going to have a cheat meal, you should make sure it fits within your macros. If that's the only meal you eat all day because it fits in your macros, that's all you eat.
Yeah.
You do not get a cheat meal to the point where you destroy your entire week.
Yeah.
You don't get a cheat day.
No.
Those are even worse.
Yeah, exactly. And I rather people have a good balance, I'm not going to say, never have pizza again, or, if you have your kid's birthday party, then don't eat any of the sweets, that's not what I'm going to say to you. What I'm going to say to you, though, is if you do that, first of all, have one slice of pizza, not the entire pie, But secondly, you will slow down, though, if you are going to do that. You're not going to get there as fast as you want. So if that's the compromise that you want to make, then that's your choice because it's your journey. Mm-hmm. But, cutting out every single thing in your life that is, brings you joy they're not going to succeed.
Right.
Well, the beauty of it is, like, if you're tracking your food, you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. You just might not get to eat as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, those little, like, desserts, those, like, tiny desserts that are, like, 2 bites, you know? Those are freaking perfect, right? You get a couple bites. It's not really that crazy that it's going to destroy you. Just track it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you can estimate some stuff, right? You can search and find them and all that stuff. I mean, anymore of half the apps, you can take a picture of something. It'll estimate it at least. So then you at least have an idea of what you're eating.
Yeah. And you know what? When I started, yes, I have had a half a cup of ice cream, and I was satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I have done that, and I was satisfied. You know?
I can have 2 bites and be fine.
You can. I can attest to that.
You're like, I don't know about me.
He watched me eat 1 bite of a cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
So,
And it wasn't even hers. It was like part of Justin's. So,
part of his, like, third.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure he was okay then. You saved him. You saved those calories.
He didn't look at it that way.
No, it was like, you're eating my piece. Because I was looking at him going, dude, that's not good. And I had my little 2 that she gave me. I was like,
Just wanted a little piece. He was even nice. He gave me the center.
he did.
Oh, wow.
He did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
Yeah.
a keeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
he has his moments.
But going back to what you said before about, like, you know, both of you guys, I figured that, you know, I'm a love pizza, but what I do is I went online and said, you know, I do like pizza, but can I figure out a way that gives me that taste somewhat,
Yep.
but doesn't destroy my, you know, so that I'm making things out of cottage cheese. Like last night I made a little 6-inch pan out of a 1/4 cup of cottage cheese and a 1/4 cup of almond flour, which is a lot higher in fat than I didn't even know. But it was good. I tracked everything, and then I put no toppings on. Put a little bit of mozzarella, and that was it. But I had and some sauce, you know. But I measured it all out. But it made me feel like I was doing something.
Yeah. Oh, just last weekend we got the low carb shells, and there was the big ones, and we got a little bit of pizza sauce. We measured out our cheese, and we loaded it with vegetables and protein. We had low fat sausages. Like
Oh, great.
Sausage, and folded it over and made calzones, and they were bomb. Like
Yeah.
they were so good, and people just like again, it takes a little extra work, but anything worth it does. So.
Well, and when you're consistent, you can be like me, and I had actual pizza last night.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
But I don't do it all the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's once in a while. I have pizza maybe a couple times a year. There's been years that I've went completely without pizza. Like I don't eat it all the time. I don't need it all the time.
No.
But I also didn't eat anything else yesterday except for pizza. You know what I mean? Like, so like
Exactly.
I made up for it. I mean, I had like my coffee with like my protein in it and stuff, but like I didn't eat a bunch of stuff and then go get pizza for dinner. Like it's finding a balance too. Like it doesn't mean you can't. It just means that you shouldn't all the time. You don't need it all the time. It's kind of like a dessert. You don't need dessert every single day.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even if you do, okay, well, let's make a healthier version of it.
Right.
Like I was saying, like with the protein shake that I make into a little cake, and I can definitely justify that because I need my protein at the end of the day, and it's my sweet little treat.
Yeah,
we're
there's like a
growing
balance.
up having ice cream every single night.
Oh, see, I didn't grow up that way. That's probably why I'm not like big on sweets too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love
I didn't
sweets.
get treats and stuff very often. Like if it was birthday, yay, we got cake and ice cream. But like that was like.
And my mom, like, she made the best brownies and
she
the best
did.
cookies, and so that's where I was.
Yeah, I did not grow up like that.
Yeah.
Justin's more like that. Like he needs like the sweet treat every day and like things like that, and so we have to figure out ways to make him, little treats.
You have some good treats too. That's for sure.
I'm good with like just a yogurt.
Yeah, I can do it. Like,
Yogurt's good too.
They got that new ratio yogurt. I'm not sure if you tried it or not, but it's 25 grams of protein. It's called there's a trio one made by the same company. There's one called Ratio. It's 25 grams. It's like only like 5 or 6 carbohydrates and like 2 grams of dietary fibers. Or like eating like 3 to 2 grams of carbohydrates, but it tastes absolutely delicious.
The thing I don't like about like the whole idea of just like, oh, it's no carbs, like there's no carbs in it, but you need carbs.
No, but
You know,
I'm saying like I do it
so,
somewhere else, like
yeah.
you do. Like I'm like I don't want it in that, but I
Yeah.
will have a sweet potato or like
Yeah.
half a cup of rice or something like that.
What's
so.
good with like the yogurt too is you get just the plain Greek yogurt and then you put like protein in it and mix it up. And then if you do that and then put some like fruit in it and then add some honey.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
That's like that
it's a
to
win.
me is so sweet.
It's a win, big time. I did it last night, but I bought this new one called Dough Bro. It's this new protein that came out, and they've got a bunch of different flavors. Although the one on TikTok called Flavor City or whatever, they've got some stuff. But you also have some protein too, and I love yours too as well. So
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But we're gonna be. We should have the chocolate peanut butter soon, so I'll bring it over so you guys can try it.
I'll dip that in my little the stuff you just said, the low or the zero fat.
The yogurt. The
Yeah,
Greek yogurt.
the Greek yogurt. Yeah, I do that. I've got a bunch of that in my house right now. So
Well, we'll plan ahead and she'll bring that over. I'll mix it into some yogurt
Yeah.
and then I'll have some like apples or something we can kind of dip in it.
There you go.
yeah,
That sounds fun.
for me, it's more like a chocolate mousse basically with peanut butter in it and chocolate. So
My boss, he loves the chocolate protein and yogurt. Like I was trying to like get him to get some different flavors or try some different flavors, and his wife was like, "No, if it's not chocolate, he's not doing it."
wow.
Some people are chocolate all the way for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite ice cream flavor?
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road, really?
That's chocolate, right? Like a chocolate.
Yeah, but
base.
it's got like
Yeah.
walnuts,
Nuts
and
and
And then
marshmallows. Yeah.
marshmallows and what's yours?
I'm pretty simple. I mean, like I could do a mint chocolate chip, but that's not my favorite. But I think it's during Christmas. It sounds weird, but what's that one that's like a it's kind of like minty? It only
Like
is,
the peppermint.
peppermint?
I love peppermint.
Flanks.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do
I don't even know
peppermint.
the word I'm trying to say.
But peppermint, yeah, just
Like
I love
pieces,
it.
like little pieces.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
but it's
little
peppermint
chunks
ice
of
cream.
peppermint, like
Yeah.
the candy canes.
And eggnog ice
whatever.
cream too as well. They have that.
Which one?
Eggnog ice cream, which was the best flavor of Cytosport before they were like muscle milk. Back in the day, I was like a spokesperson, kind of like basically for them because I was like super jacked, and that's all I drank. And they were the first ones to kind of introduce MCTs inside of protein. So Cytosport back in the day, which is muscle milk, it doesn't taste the same anymore. But they had a root beer float.
Oh,
you
man.
guys! But Jocko makes a root beer float, which is fantastic.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, and but guess what? It's discontinued now, and it was only out for a couple of months. I'm like, why is it the root beer float always goes away? And guys, I'm telling you right now, it's like A&W root beer, like that type of
Maybe
float.
they do it on purpose.
Maybe they do.
Makes you want it more.
Bring it
Well, no,
back.
I don't think no one's buying it. That's the problem. You like it, I like it.
Well,
I
if
know
they bring it back, someone's buying it. They just don't have it enough. Like it.
it's not selling enough. That's the
Yeah, it's
issue.
not enough. So like it makes you kind of want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Cytosport did that. They made eggnog, they made root beer float, and those do not exist anymore. People are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, I was the first when it came out. It was the first day when Cytosport. It was like 2004, with 2003 before I moved to Spain, and that's when Muscle Milk came out. Cytosport, yeah. So
Do either of you guys have a Ninja Creamy?
I do. I love
Unfortunately,
it.
no.
It's the best thing in the world.
You got to get
we
one.
need to get
Oh,
one.
it's done. Yeah.
Get the one off of Costco, because then if you get it from Costco, because you can buy it online and they can ship it to you, and it's the best deal. And that thing is a game changer in the summertime.
Huge. I mean, like
You could turn anything into
ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah. I just use the Fairlife chocolate milk and then mix a scoop of protein in it, and then we just add some mix-ins or whatever. And Justin gets to the point where we eat it so much, and I'm just like sick of making it.
Yeah, because you have to do the night before too as well. You got to put your thing. I used to
You
do.
need 12 hours.
Yeah, okay, that's not very long, but I was
It
doing. what you
says
did before.
24, but I know because I tested it.
Yeah, I was doing what you did before. I was using the sugar-free. Well, I was doing that before. I was using the sugar-free little packets for Jell-O.
Which are really bad for your gut.
That's why I didn't. That's why when you said that before, I'm like, I stopped doing it. So I have not been using. But the Fairlife, that's perfect because it's actually milk and perfect.
Yeah, and it works good because it's dairy, so like it actually is creamy. If you can't consume dairy, I mean, you can use almond milk and stuff. I've actually made sherbet in it too. It takes a lot of strawberries.
Oh, it does. Okay.
But like you puree the strawberries and then you put it in the, then you freeze it. And then I added some like stevia to it to sweeten it up a little bit. It was really good.
Yeah.
I'm really warm right now.
You
It's kind of warm in here. Yeah.
Why am I not warm? Why am I always cold?
It could be the sunburn too that I'm like.
Oh, it might be.
Because you guys, you in the sun. You're
Yeah,
like
I
sitting
was in the sun
Are you still hot or no?
No, I'm eh.
Okay. All right.
A mess.
Well, you know.
Well, you guys are also closer to. Well, this light's probably. I mean, those aren't heat. Those are LED, so they don't get very hot. And this is not hot for me. But anyway.
Nah. It's probably just warm in here.
Yeah.
We're stuck in a room. You know?
I'll be right.
Side note, it's hot.
Yeah.
They're like, why is she sweating? I'm nervous.
She's scared of all the questions I prepared.
It's like between two ferns.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's looking around.
Great show. Great show. Love that. I don't know if Felicia's seen it or not, but it's really funny.
No.
So is it Zach
Galifianakis?
Galifianakis. Yeah, he's an actor, and he has really prominent. He's an actor too, and famous one. But he's got a lot of famous people on there, and they just between the two ferns, and it's like a really bad set, not this nice at all, and it's him and just A-listers. Like he says weird stuff, and it's so funny. It's good.
Yeah, I'll ask him like really like off topic or like inappropriate questions,
Yes.
and they're like, "What?
Yeah.
No, I'm done. I'm done."
Yeah. It's really.
I went on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good stuff.
I love inappropriate questions.
No, it's fun, and it's really funny. I mean, it's not like he's that guy. If you've watched any of the movies, what was it? When they were out here in Vegas when they shot that
The
movie.
Hangover, wasn't it?
Hangover 1 and 2, yeah.
Oh, is it the fat dude?
Yeah, with the beard.
Oh, yeah.
Zach. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's funny as hell. Yeah,
I'd go on a show. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
he's got a good show.
I think I've seen clips of that on like Instagram.
You
or
definitely
something,
have.
where like he like straight up pisses people off sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be fun. I'm so weird. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that.
You're like, now I have ideas.
I might be able to come back at you.
I'm not mad. It actually doesn't hurt my ears, so you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm just gonna keep my arms right here.
I know. It's just like, you know what it is? It's like the rubber banding of the coils that's making the noise.
I think it needs tightened. It keeps moving.
Yeah.
But
But you guys sound good. That's all that matters.
yeah. So it's messy.
Hey,
That's the point, right?
on purpose.
Yeah.
So what's on the horizon? What's next on this? We're here.
On this conversation?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. We've talked about food, body dysmorphia,
story,
eating
yeah.
disorders, family.
Yeah, all of it.
I actually never did answer your question.
Yes.
So the reason that I kind of got away from family was one, Justin wanted to move away from Iowa, and I never even really thought about it, and honestly didn't put a lot of thought into it. He's like, he basically was like, we're moving to Denver. And I was like, okay. Like that was the amount of thought I put into it. I don't know why. I have no idea. I was just like, okay, we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did it. And then moving away, part of it was like, it started because nobody really, I shouldn't say nobody really, nobody, not a friend, not a family member, nobody came to visit.
It's funny.
In 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved here. And yeah, it was just, it was just kind of like, yeah, that, because now, and then what was sucked too was like, we moved here and then I get a message from my sister that, they wanted to come out here or whatever. And then like, the only reason they wanted to come out here is they wanted to go to the Strip. Well, no. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just not, you know what I mean? Like, that was the whole reason. It had nothing to do with coming to visit me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just where I was at, you know what I mean? And, like, I don't know. A lot of it was just like, wow, no one really cares. Like, I left. No one cares.
Yeah.
When I lived in Hawaii, people still didn't come visit me.
Really? What island?
Big Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, you guys can stay here. And
Yeah.
I mean, I was only there for a year, but still, nobody even like thought about like, hey, we should go visit. And I'm like, I thought like that would be the reason, but even then, still wasn't worth it. You know,
and then
they wouldn't even come like an hour to visit me when I lived in the same state.
Right.
So I don't know why I thought they would, come to Hawaii. But
and it's funny because like when they don't, you're like, wait a minute, like I actually don't care.
Yeah.
Like you just realize that like life is actually more peaceful. I don't like when I lived in Iowa, it was like everyone wanted something from me, but like you know what I mean? Like it was almost like I was just kind of there to like serve people. You know what I mean? Like I got walked all over until I met Justin. I've been used and abused and thrown around like in so many different ways. I'd had people borrow money from me. I've never gotten a dime back. Like I just anything and everything. Like just living situations. I mean, just in general. And then I got with Justin, and he started teaching me that like I had more worth to me. Like I was better than what people made me feel like. It all like kind of started. I know he's a car guy, but I just honestly didn't realize that at first. I didn't even know he didn't have his license at the time. Well, he had his license, but he had like a breathalyzer in his car, and I didn't even know that. So that shows how like crazy. I didn't even like question it or whatever, but we just took my car a lot. I was just like, oh, okay. But it was like, so I had a really crappy Pacifica, it was super rusted out at the bottom, and like, I don't know, it's just piece of crap, but it was, it worked. And, he's like, you really deserve like something nice to drive. Like I worked my butt off. I had 2 jobs. I was bartending in the evening. I had a full-time job during the day. Like I busted my butt. And he was like, you deserve better than this. I'm like, I didn't even but yeah, so like it was just kind of him telling me, that I deserved more. And, like it took a while, and then I finally realized it. And then I think quitting drinking and just kind of like moving and all of that kind of really made me work on me and like focus on me, and then like realizing I'm worth more than I thought, because I didn't think I was worth anything. I really didn't. I mean, growing up, I really didn't feel like I was anything. And I'm a completely different person now. And all of that becoming who I am and realizing what I'm worth caused me to like not keep relationships that didn't that weren't good for me. Not even that didn't benefit me, because I don't need it to benefit me. Like I'm friends with you guys because I like you.
Right. I
want to be around you. I like what you guys stand for. I don't need anything from you.
Yeah.
But like I like you as people and what you value, and
it's more that it's now no longer serving you, and it's no longer serving your soul and your growth.
Yes.
And that's where what the toxicity is the draining of who you are, and giving everything that you are. But this person just sucks it because they don't have that, and they want it. So they, psychic vampirism on you, and they're like, well, I like that. I'm going to take it all. And that's where it becomes toxic, and that's when it's like, okay, like this is no longer serving me in my life and in my happiness. It's not coming down to, money or, what can I get from you?
Well, it is on the other side, though.
Yes.
So when you start realizing you have value, you stop getting walked on all the time. And then you lose people because, or they go, oh,
they
you're not
pissed.
the same.
Yep.
You're not who you used to be. And that's the point.
Yeah. Like people, you change that you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like my ex now, he says, oh, ever since, you, got with Lyle, he's like, you've had so many unkindnesses towards me. And I'm like, first of all, I don't think that's a word. Secondly, what you're looking at is boundaries, buddy. Those are called boundaries. And I should have had them with you a long, long, long time ago. But now that I'm like, no, these are my boundaries and you are not crossing them, now there's unkindnesses.
Yeah.
So...
You're inconvenient for them is the problem, because you were
Absolutely.
convenient to be able to walk all over you and get what they want out of you and kind of run how you live. And when you take control of your life, you stop letting that happen, and then people just don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. They really, really don't.
And you know what? I like that they don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I would, but I freaking do not care.
Well, it also shows you too, like what you were putting up with.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you know, I feel like both of our stories are like, oh, these men came in and saved us, but that's not the case though. And you know, I want to like make that. It's more that we surrounded ourselves with people that were genuine and could see our worth, you know, and that hadn't happened in our life before. You know?
100%. It just happened to be our significant other, but it could have been a friend. I mean, a lot of people have friends that get them out of the hole like that.
You know, I even have, you know, a best friend. I think I may have talked to you about her last time. And we were great for each other for a long time, you know. We both had a lot going on in our life, a lot of drama, a lot of stress, and we were able to pull each other up, you know. But over the years, she had more and more victim mentality. And no matter what I did for her, no one ever did anything for her. And I was just like, you know, I just can't do that anymore. You know, I want to have a beneficial, mutual friendship. And it was never about like what I'm doing for you and giving to you to get anything back or to even have praise. But for you to turn around and, you know, make me feel like I'm nothing and I did nothing, then I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, well, I'm not going to keep doing it then, you know. And so, you know, she actually moved out here about a month after I did. I haven't seen her.
Wow.
And we were best friends for 20 years, you know. But she stopped talking to me for 2 because of some petty whatever, you know. And so it's also the cycle that she has where it's like, oh, if I don't like you today, so we're going to stop talking to you. Wow. Okay.
And like, I think as we grow, we realize what is toxic, right? Like, because that means something different to everyone. What's toxic to you? Right now, I am to Lee.
At least to the mic.
But like that means something different to each of us, right? Every one of us has had somebody's relationship that's a different type of toxic, and it's not a one size fits all. We can't just label something toxic because that doesn't mean the same thing to everyone.
No.
You have to figure that out yourself.
Yeah, but and like we said before, though, you know, those were all people in my life that I needed at that time, that we needed each other at that time, and those chapters in my life that were very important, you know. And so to come as far as I've come, you know, I don't know, I'm proud of me, and you know, I'm still have a long way to go, but at least I'm still going. At least I'm still going up, you know, and I'm not staying stagnant because that's not who I am, you know. So
yeah.
But and the bodybuilding journey, circle back around. The bodybuilding journey really did help me with that as well, because as you mentioned before, I had just gone through a divorce, and he was nasty. I had one of those like memories on my Facebook pop up the other day, and I was like, oh, that's why. Yeah. That's okay, you know, because like you kind of forget how freaking terrible they are sometimes, you know. And anyway, it doesn't matter here or there. But so again, I was still kind of broken and kind of at a low part of my life, even though I was still going forward and moving up. And so the bodybuilding show was like exactly what I needed. It was like, okay, you know, you are doing this for you. You have more strength than you realize, and that's what we're gonna do, you know. And so, you know, I really dialed in with it, and I'm not saying that every day was easy. It wasn't at all, you know. But to get up on that stage where I never a million years thought I would be. You know, I wasn't even sure if I would wear a bikini, much less a small one in front of a lot of people. Right. So I'm like, just the fact that it was there, and then winning, you know, and getting my bag, I was just like, this is insane, you know, and then I loved it. I got addicted to it. But like I said, it showed me that my bigness wasn't something to be ashamed of. Mm-hmm. And something I've been working on lately too is not only physically, but personality and emotionally. Mm-hmm. We make ourselves small all the time, every day, you know, and to make other people comfortable.
Yeah, I don't do that no more.
Yeah, I don't see you doing that for sure.
I used to, but I don't do that no more.
No, but most people do, you know, or a lot of people, you know, and so that is definitely something I've been working on lately as well. I told you I was hiding for a while, you know, and you know, that's another thing. Like, you know, my husband got this new job. He's also been hiding, and he's been hiding a little more and worse than I have, you know. And so I told him with this new job, I said, you need to stop hiding. I said, all of those little people that made us feel bad and hide from the place that we lived before, they don't mean anything. Mm-hmm. They didn't then, and they don't now. And we need to stop hiding from them because they don't matter. Mm-hmm. Mm. And he was like, you're right. You're right. I'm like, okay, let's go.
You know? That's awesome.
Yeah. I used to question what I posted online a lot for a long time. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Posting it. If you don't like it, I don't care.
Yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah, you can unfollow at any point in time. Yeah. You can block me.
And even, you know, I'm still, you know, as a bodybuilder, I worry every day because I've had people to my face, so, you know, say stuff that's stupid. And so the comments themselves, I'm like, oh no, what are they gonna say? And I'm like, you know what, it doesn't matter. Like, they're just little people. If they're saying anything like that, then they're just
bunch of trolls on there. Yeah, that's all it is. They don't have a profile picture, and if you don't have a profile picture, and I've said this many times, but like, if you don't have a profile picture, I don't care about your opinion because clearly you're too ugly to put a picture up. Yeah. Just saying. you usually it's no profile picture and they don't post anything, but man, do they have an opinion. Mm-hmm. Guess who doesn't care?
Yeah,
this person right here.
Yeah. But that's been a concern of mine though. I'm like, well, you know, should I post this? What if they say, so what if they do?
Yeah, just post it. That's where I'm at. Like, I told Justin, I was like, I pay attention when I record, but I batch record. And when I batch record, if I goof something up, either I decide that that's going to stay or I re-record it. But once it's recorded, it's going up. Mm-hmm. I don't care. And if you don't like it, again, you can unfollow me. I don't care. Please comment, though, because I do like the traction. But
I'm not saying I don't want anybody to comment. Just,
Go ahead. Bring on the negativity. It's fine. I don't read them anyways. But, like, it's just like one of those things. I think social media is a great way to get past that. It took me a really long time to like actually talk on camera and post it. I would post pictures for a really long time. And then I got to the point where I was doing the voiceovers. Then I did just like videos and like words. And then now, I mean, I post 3 videos a day minimum of me talking. Mm-hmm. You know, and like it took a while to get to that point, but let me tell you, it will change your confidence if you're doing that all the time and the way you think about how other people think. You don't. Yeah. It doesn't even register anymore.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about that too is that I can talk to people, you know, in person just fine, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then like I started back in the day, I was doing YouTube videos and I was doing, do you guys remember Holler? It was an online, almost like a dollar store, but it was. Okay. I think it's what Big Five is, or not Big Five. Five Below is now. I think that's the same.
Oh, Five Below. Okay.
But it used to be just online, and it was Holler. So I would do Holler hauls, and my videos were so like robotic. You know, I'd be like, I got a box from Holler. I'm gonna open it. You know, it took me a minute. Like, it didn't take me, years, but it took me a minute to just like be like, yo, relax. Like, what is wrong with you? You know, like, you're not even talking to a human. You're talking to a computer. You know, a camera. First of all, like, and just act like it's your buddy. You know, like, just.
But it's just like anything else you need to learn, right? We start from, a very uneasy feeling of like doing something new, and then the more you do it, the better you get at it, the more confident you get in it.
Yeah, well, and that circles right back around to the self growth. Yeah, that is in everything that we do. I was talking to somebody about at my work about one of the sessions they were doing, and they're like, oh, I'm not very coordinated. And I'm like, oh, I understand, but you will be, when I first started.
I don't know. That didn't get much better for me.
But it still could be rough for sure. But like, I would say the first time I did Zumba, I was like, I felt like a manatee trying to get in a rowboat. Like, it was bad, like, but then, for one thing, I just embraced it. I was like, as long as I'm moving, having fun.
Oh, I can't dance with a crap, but I've done a lot of Zumba.
And I will dance, I
got no rhythm.
Good is another thing, but I will dance.
You see me in the gym shaking my butt. It has no rhythm to the beat that I'm listening to. But
and I just tell my clients, if I'm not dancing during our session, then that I'm upset about something. We have dance parties. That's what we do. So. But then I became, a group fitness instructor. I was talking about that last time. And, you had to learn the choreography. But what I liked about that, too, though, because they understood we were human, if you messed up, it would be called the drum solo, because remember, you have the drumsticks. So they're like, if you mess up, just keep going. Just keep going, and make it a drum solo. And I'm like, okay. And I've incorporated that into my life, too. If you mess up, just keep going.
Oh, it's my favorite, though.
They might not even know.
I love messing up because that's where you learn. And trying new things and all of that stuff, like, that's almost like a fun little, like, high for me now. That's actually how I met Lee. I just randomly was like, let's try out some acting classes. Why not?
Nice.
Actually, they got you in the door because they were like, oh, you're auditioning for a commercial. And I was like, oh, great. Tomorrow? Sure. And I literally got the script the day before. Absolutely terrible. Oh my God, did I bomb that? And they were like, well, we have acting classes and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that they were just selling me on acting classes. But then I told Justin, I was like, that might be fun. And then those acting classes were a complete joke, but I met Lee and we did some real acting.
Yep. There you go.
I just knew how to have fun.
Yeah, she does.
It just goes, that's another thing that me and my husband have been talking about a lot recently, because the last few years have been crazy, like, just full of ups and downs, and unfortunately a lot more downs than we wanted. But the last couple months have been even worse, and there's been a lot that has happened, and we would have like good and then catastrophic and then pretty good and then catastrophic, and we're like, what is happening? And so I was just like, maybe we're having the good so that we can deal with the bad a little bit easier, and I totally forgot where I was going with that. But
what I started looking at with bad is it's not even necessarily like sometimes the bad things that happen to you are pushing you in a different direction.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
And when you start looking at the lessons within the bad instead of just like, why is this happening to me? It's totally different, right? I mean, I know there's things that we can't help, and I've said this so many times on this podcast, but like, you can't help if somebody passes away, but you can help how you react to it. And sometimes that's a growth period too, right? Maybe it's somebody really close to you and you have to figure out how to get through that. Getting through that is a learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think finding the lesson within the bad is more beneficial than enjoying the positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes part of it is just getting through it and standing up and getting up.
Yeah.
I mean, life is like, there is no book on how we live our lives.
No.
And I know that, from both of you guys, life experiences taught us exactly that. And what I like about the conversation that's happening right now is that you just have to get back up, and life, sometimes you don't have to understand it right then and there, like you said. We just look at what it is and not really react to it so much about emotions, but more of like, okay, where am I right now? Especially when someone passes, that's can
hard.
Be tough. Yeah, especially people that you really, really love, and I can't believe that they're gone now. But those lessons, I think, that we're learning as we grow more muscles, emotionally and physically, and in our souls, it's just it's powerful, and I like everything that's happened today. Today's most definitely, all of them have been really great, but today's a great lesson in just enduring and getting back, because sometimes there's not an answer.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like...
Or sometimes you don't see it,
Yeah.
But, that is where I was kind of going with that, though, is that these things that happened, which includes a death, pushed us to have this really exciting chapter coming next. And, we wouldn't have done it. Like, we weren't stagnant, but it was just kind of like, well, here and there. And then...
Well, when you get content, you need something to get you out of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, we get content, and then we're like, oh, life is good. It's, nothing's happening, but nothing's not happening. You know what I mean? And then, like, now you're just like, okay, I don't live like that because I'm a freaking psychopath. And, like, as soon as it gets content, I'm like, what do I got to do?
Yeah.
But, like... That's how people naturally are. Like, it's just like, okay, I can just chill right now. And that feels good. And then feels good turns into a year of doing nothing. And now you're just kind of getting through life. And that's not living.
No.
That's not living.
No. And there's definitely been like, we need to do more. We need to do more. And, the universe was like, okay, here's your sign. Here's your sign. Here's your freaking sign. And we're like, okay, well.
Eventually it's going to push you off the cliff.
Exactly. So, like, I feel like that's what has happened. And not that, because of the death, like, that was the universe. But again, your reaction to it. And it was like, it's just this rolling of stuff happening.
Death can also be a lesson because it is telling you that life is short. It's telling you need to take action. You need to do something. This person's life's over, but yours isn't yet. Yeah. There is a lesson in death if you pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds kind of heartless, but it's true. I mean, you can take a lesson from somebody dying. It doesn't make it any less painful. It doesn't make it any less sad. It doesn't make it any less emotional. But, like, there is a lesson. Mm-hmm. And just in what you were saying, it was pushing you. It's pushing you. They didn't die for you to do that. It's just something that happened.
It's something that happened. But again, it comes down to our reaction to it and our, our next steps.
Yeah, and how do you use it as a catalyst to one, I look at death as like you said, as a catalyst, but also to stay grateful. Like, I many times as good humans, as I'll say, you said that today, you can be complacent about life and you don't look at your life comparatively to someone else, because they're not comparing, but more of like, today I woke up with 10 toes, 10 fingers, and being able to have all my faculties about me. And I saw something on IG where this guy was walking with a bucket. He had like, his legs were super small, and he was on a skateboard just going to get water for his family to come back. And he was like in Manila or something like that. He was like Filipino or something like that. But he had obviously way more toughness than I had to endure. And I'm looking at his life going, okay, I don't need to be there to be grateful, but like those deaths and the things that happen, if you look at it as a way of you trying to step up in your own life and having something to be a catalyst and not to be tied to this, because we're going to see them again. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe, if you believe in God or whatever universe, I believe that this place, for me, in my opinion, Earth is a learning ground for us, and it's the hardest place to be. It is a tough place, as you said before. It is tough to be here, but at the same exact time, I'm happy that I'm here. And how can I do more? And how can I be more grateful for the things that I have? So I think if you look at things, as you said before, as what lesson is this teaching me right now? Mm-hmm. And what can I pull from this? Because a lot of times, like you said before, people are just asleep at the wheel. And sometimes death wakes you up. If you allow it to, like you said.
Well, and it can be a death of somebody else, or it could be a close call. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I mean,
Well,
you're in traffic and you're like, oh,
I'm awake.
I will tell you though, it doesn't always happen though. And you have to recognize the lessons that are coming out of it.
When
I was 19, I had a brain tumor and I had brain surgery. And they told me, afterwards, they said, I knew that it was, it's brain surgery. But they told me afterwards, they're like, if we had done anything wrong, you would be dead or in a coma. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. But I was like, I was 19, so going through that, I was like, why is this happening? Like what am I supposed to learn out of this? Now my jaw's all fucked up. I had a weird haircut, like what exactly is it that I'm learning from this? And
well,
I don't know if I could still
I don't
tell
know if you're really necessarily even looking at it that way, right? You're so young and naive, and like we're not really experienced in life at that age either.
But
so
people
it's
be
harder.
like, oh, but aren't you glad to be alive? I don't know, kind of stuff kind of sucks right now.
You're sitting there like, I didn't even know that the option was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can barely eat. I couldn't open my jaw very far, and I'm like, I have staples up my head. Like at this moment, no, like nothing's really good. I'm really just like, why did this happen to me? And going forward, I did survive. And I think that's great. But I think there's some things when you're in the thick of it, though, that it's hard to look at it and say, what can I learn? To be real and honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's when you're in the real dark, like, first of all, I don't want to be strong anymore. I don't want to learn any more lessons. I'm done.
Well, and if you have never built up discipline, it's even harder. So if you don't have that already like structure to you to be able to push through, you easily cave. I mean, we were talking about that, me and Justin, yesterday, because we were talking about addiction. And I will never, ever say I understand, because I do not have that in me. I'm just a naturally happy person. I am not chasing anything. That's just how I am naturally, but he is not. And he's easily addicted to things. Thank God he's never done hard drugs. but like, just like he's pretty much gave up everything at this point except for nicotine. And like, we were talking about him giving that up, and we were just talking about like the difference between like the people, and like, so his parents are both very like highly addictive personalities, right? So like his dad giving up cigarettes is like impossible. His mom cigarettes is impossible. You know what I mean? And like, to them, it's like just this just far-fetched thing. For Justin, it's like, it's discipline to say no. It's fighting that voice in your head. And I think it all depends on where you're at as a person, on whether you can fight that. And the same thing goes with depression. If you get down and you're deep in the rough of everything, and you're trying to fight through that, but you don't have that discipline, that willpower to push through, it's going to hold you down longer than somebody who actually has the discipline. They've built this willpower to be able to push through. So I think that it all depends on where you're at. And it also depends on your age, right? Like, we're all different at different points in our lives. And especially if you're changing and open to growth. And if you're growing, you'll see those stages a little bit more clearly. But like, if you're not and you kind of just stayed the same, that's going to be a lot harder. And then you have like children who have cancer who are still happy, right? They don't know any better. And then as you get older, you do all these experiences, and now life just looks even gloomier because something was thrown at you like that. And I think it all really just depends on the person and where they're at in life.
Yeah. And I think everybody has, a different journey and different hardships. And all my life I've been, I think it's great to have like inspirational stories and whatnot. I'm not taking away from that. But I always hated there's starving children in Africa, and I feel terrible for them. But, sometimes they're the happiest people. You could see,
They're probably happier than a lot of people I know.
Yeah. We all have different struggles, and it doesn't make it smaller because someone else is struggling more.
Exactly.
No, and that should never be, it should never be a one-up kind of thing.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't want to one-up people that are struggling.
Right.
I don't want to. I feel for them, but like I don't want to. But I also think we've all came from something. I mean, me and you had a very long conversation about women and how almost every woman is been assaulted in some way, shape, or form in their life. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is because we are the weaker of the two. And that is just how we're biologically made up. And there's nothing we can do about that but deal with it in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make your experience any weaker than mine or vice versa.
We're trauma. You were talking about how something about trauma per se. But basically what we're saying is that we cannot we have to value each other as humans and know that our struggles might be different, but at the same exact time, we cannot have this, what you were saying before, I'm just kind of, reiterating, but just trauma is trauma for everybody. Doesn't make a difference. If I think mine's better than yours, there's no such thing as that. It's just, trauma's trauma. We've all been through it. And if you respect people and love people enough and come from a place of love, we have to understand that it's just going to be different for everybody. And it's just hard just to be here, like I talked about before. And that's, so I think.
And I know I was talking more about women, but I'm not even just talking about women. Men have this different types of struggles, right?
Oh, 100%.
We have a lot of men that like struggle to just be able to be themselves because they have to be this like certain person by society and like this certain person in their family, and they can't show weakness and things like that. And we have the same thing on that side of things. So then we have a lot of men who end up killing themselves because they never feel like they lived up to this status that they're supposed to be. So it's not any different than the women that get assaulted and end up harming themselves because of that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We all have it. We all do. And I'm never going to say that I have more trauma than somebody else.
Absolutely.
Like that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's an understanding thing that you come from, from a long line of you dealing with yourself, most importantly, and you coming out of that and realizing also too as well. Same with me. I was really selfish when I was a lot younger, and I couldn't even have a conversation like that. I'm like, well, what I'm going through is way worse than what you're going through. But I think that as we get older, we understand that, man, you got some stuff and I got some stuff, and how do we help each other through this journey? Because at the end of the day, I believe we're here to help each other. There's a reason that we're sitting down today.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as, playing small and coincidences. There's no such thing. I'm supposed to meet you in my life. I'm glad that I did. I'm a better person for that. And we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to why. Why am I here with you today? Why, what is special about today? Because every day's special. So I'm sorry, I'm just getting on this whole ethereal.
He talks when the camera's off.
Are you high?
Hey, on a serious note, when are we going to do a podcast where we do some mushrooms?
I'm down. I'm down.
Saying.
Yeah. No, I'm down. I told you
All
before,
right.
I'm down. So.
All right, let's do it. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
I may or may not have some chocolate at home.
Oh.
I got some in the fridge, but we started
Not
already.
today. Not today.
That's awesome.
That's a whole nother thing. I don't know. I might get all.
I don't know what's going to happen to me. I've never done it before, so.
I'm just even more giggly.
Oh yeah,
well, I'm a medium, so when I take shrooms, then sometimes that comes out.
Oh, that's nice.
All right, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Next one. Next one.
I would say more empath, I guess, than medium. But
yeah.
Either way,
we're going.
Sometimes it gets weird. So
hey,
just to get on a positive note.
Absolutely.
No, I think the moral of it is like we all have our own stuff. Honestly, I know we started the conversation talking about body dysmorphia, and just to kind of bring it back to that, I think the biggest thing anyone can do is really start working on yourself, because you're never gonna totally be happy. You really aren't. Like, we're not perfect people. We're not perfect creatures. You never will be. You can have a million different surgeries. You're never going to be perfect, because what is perfect? It doesn't exist. And I think just being happy with yourself should be the goal. And if that means you want to change a couple things, then change a couple things. But like, I think overall you need to realize you're never going to be the person on the magazine. You're never going to be the person on Instagram. You're never going to be that person on TV. You're just you. Be happy with you. And I think a lot of people struggle because they're not willing to work on themselves and they focus too much on other people.
And to reiterate, what we've been saying this whole time, but also what you were saying, is that it does go together. Talking about bodybuilding in a physical sense, and also spiritually bodybuilding, and just. I think that's kind of what we've been talking about this whole time. Is just growth. Just let yourself grow.
You deserve to grow, so let yourself.
Don't put a glass bottle over yourself and stay in that little small space. Because if you do that, then that's all you'll ever be. And that's not what you were meant to be. You were, meant to be a redwood. You're meant to be a sequoia. You're meant to reach for the sky and be awe-inspiring. So do it.
That's awesome.
Yep. We're our own worst enemies, so we can change that.
Bailey, with the gym. I mean, it's, if I were to tell you, say, hey, train me, both of you guys, and I want to be super huge in like 1 week, you're going to look at me like I'm crazy. You're going to go, that's not going to happen. And those micro tears that you're doing with daily life exercises, with walking, with thinking about yourself in a positive way, those smaller steps help. Because people want the quick fix.
They want the quick fix, but nothing is permanent either. Every day is going to be different. We're going to think of ourselves differently. We're going to think of other people differently. We're going to think of our situation differently. And that's just day to day. That's the roller coaster. And we just have to deal with it. Sometimes I feel depressed. That's not very it doesn't fit my personality. Most people probably don't even think I know what depression feels like, but I do. And I get to that point and I understand, and I know you have to push through and you have to get through it and do all of this stuff. And just being able to acknowledge that you feel that way is the first step. And then the next step is to push yourself out of it. You have to. And whether that's going to the gym, which works for some people. I mean, obviously it works for us because we talk about it a lot. Right. But some people, it's just going for a walk. Some people, it's talking to someone, whether it's a therapist, a friend, whatever. There are steps you can take, and everyone's situation is different, and what works for everybody is different. So find what works for you.
Yeah. And all of it, spiritually and physically, it's not going to be a quick fix, and it's also not going to stop.
No, it never ends.
It is a constant process of working on yourself, whatever that looks like. You don't get to the spot and be like, and I'm perfect, thank you,
and never.
Good night.
No.
That doesn't work like that.
What happens is when you're growing, you have new goals. You make new goals. I know people think you don't and that there's a stopping point, but you make new goals. You're constantly making new goals. I mean, you made goals to lose weight, and then you turned around and were like, oh, now I made goals to gain it back so I can get muscle. That is how it works. It's not this one goal and then, wow, I achieved everything. No, that's not where it ends. Most people that build crazy corporations, it doesn't stop there. Look at Elon Musk, for example. He didn't just stop with the Tesla. He could have. He has plenty of money, but no, he has other goals, and he keeps making goals, and he keeps growing and things like that. And that goes for anyone who's successful in life. And success doesn't mean money. It doesn't always mean money, So you can be successful in just the personal growth in your life and how you live, and you don't need a lot of money for that.
Absolutely. I agree.
So.
Yeah, money helps.
It helps.
But
it helps.
It doesn't create joy.
No.
So.
It does give you some things that make life easier, which is
It
nice.
really does.
But like a house cleaner, I still need to hire one. I cleaned yesterday. It sucked.
It's a hard knock life. It's rough.
I should have played the Annie song. All right. Well, to round it out, do either of you guys got anything you want to leave it on?
No. It's been really messy with you guys.
It's been really messy. We've had a little malfunctions, but hey, we're back at it. And we're going to do another one soon, and it's going to be a special episode. So stay tuned. Bye, guys.